Gotti Switzerland launched their Precious Objects collection in the spring of 2025. In the summer of 2025, that's now, I got to make one of my favorite custom tinted mirrored transitions lens looks in the Dickens model from the Precious Objects collection. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome to the Hicks Brunson Eyewear YouTube channel. I am your friendly neighborhood optician, Daniel Brunson. Thank you so much for being here. On this channel, I like to talk about some of my favorite indie eyewear brands and cool things you can do with lens technologies, especially custom tinted transitions lenses. I like to talk about that a lot around here. So if you want to see more content like that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. All right, now let's get into it. Today we're talking about the Gotti Precious Objects collection, specifically the Dickens frame and the custom tinted transitions lenses that I made for a very good client here in the United States. And we are talking about this color. It's actually, I'm going to share with you my Anna Karin Carlson Le Chap frame because it has a similar vibe, the same tint, but we did for the Dickens a very special additional feature. We did a flash silver mirror. So let's talk about Precious Objects for just a moment. For those of you that want to do a little bit of a deeper dive on Precious Objects, say that a few times fast. I did a full video review. There are 4 pieces in the collection. It is a beautiful collection. As I mentioned at the start of the video, it was launched by Gotti Switzerland in the spring of 2025. The packaging, it's a gift box packaging. Inside there, you're going to find your certificate of authenticity, booklet with information about the collection, vinyl case. You've got a T3 screwdriver, because the frames are put together with, they're held together with Torx screws. So everything was done very well by Gotti out of Switzerland, and the pieces are just gorgeous. And let's get into it. Let's get into the topic of today's video. More specifically, this is the Dickens model. The Dickens model from the Precious Objects collection. It's a great looking navigator piece. And I've got a version of it here that has yet to have prescription lenses made for it. This is a brand new version. I really love these pieces, guys. They're made of Japanese titanium. They have the silver color here is plated in palladium 0.5 microns deep. So the finish is not only very shiny, but also very durable, very corrosion resistant. Very beautiful. As I mentioned, I did a full video review on all of the shapes in the collection. The Dickens does come in gold and also rose gold. I love the temple arm. It has a very 1930s vintage inspired little loop on the end. So this is the Dickens. This again is the pair that I customized, custom tint, flash mirror, and transitions emerald. And what tint? Let's first talk about let's talk about the lens. We did endless single vision lenses for our client, digital precision optics by IoT, so that everywhere our client looks in the lens, he will have pure, sharp vision, even into the farther outer regions in the periphery. There's the tint, guys. Seaglass to blush, 40% density. Turned out very beautiful. 40% in the Seaglass. It fades to a lighter, slightly lighter version of the blush in the bottom, a little closer to 30%. I want to point out my Anna Karin Carlson Le Chap also has Seaglass to blush on a slightly lighter shade of density and no silver mirror. So I just wanted to show you what the same tint looks like. See if I can hold them both here. The same tint, slightly darker here, and with the flash silver mirror, you see how that adds a look to the frame, to the mystique. It hides the eyes a little bit more. The Seaglass to blush without the mirror. The hint of tint here, just enough to kind of flatter the coloring of the skin and create that unique look. Okay, so let's just take one more look at the Seaglass to blush. This is indoor mode. This darkness is perfectly reasonable and easy to wear indoors and even at night, even with the mirror. And when I put this on, you'll notice with that flash silver mirror, Makes it a little bit harder to see my eyes, but that doesn't mean it's hard for me to see out. It just adds to the look. And what happens when this frame is worn outdoors, it's powered by Transitions Gen S technology. And so what that means is it will turn from this color indoors to a beautiful emerald color outdoors. So for those of you familiar with Transitions Gen S, you know it's the most recent Transitions lens technology from the Transitions portfolio. It's very fast to activate and deactivate. Comes in classic gray, brown, graphite green. It also comes in a bunch of style colors, including emerald. And look how good emerald looks in the navigator-shaped, shiny, palladium-plated Dickens. That is a stunner. Oh, I missed that beam. I've talked about this before. Look at that little spot right there. I missed that with the beam. When you walk out into the sun, UV is all around you, and Transitions lenses darken very uniformly. When you're shining a flashlight beam at them, you have to be very precise. So there we go. Fully darkened lens, beautiful emerald color. And look at the brilliance of the flash silver mirror and how beautiful it looks when you darken the lenses behind the silver mirror. You get a really brilliant, beautiful, shiny silver. I love the way it looks in the shiny silver Dickens. And one of the things, I've talked about this before, maybe I don't need the bag for this to showcase. More light behind the lens, the mirror is a little less visible. You block in behind and you let less light in behind, and that mirror really comes through. That's why when you're wearing them, the mirror really shows well behind a darkened lens when you're wearing the glasses. Such a phenomenal look. I was really excited to get to create this colorway with the Seaglass to blush tint, with the flash silver mirror and the Transitions Gen S emerald. It really came together nicely. The Dickens is a nice frame. It's part of a very nice collection, the Precious Objects collection from Gotti. Trust me guys when I tell you, these are some of the most comfortable frames you will ever wear. This titanium temple arm, it's been stretched nice and thin, has a very smooth, very high polished surface and very flexible. So when you wear it, you hardly feel it. The nose pads are also titanium in matching palladium color. All the titanium nose pads match the frame colors. If you want to see, like I mentioned, that full deep dive into the Gotti Precious Objects collection, I review all of it and I show all of the pieces. They're all very beautiful. There's the navigator shape like this, there's an aviator shape, there's a round shape, and then there's even a very vintage looking kind of geometrical hexagonal type shape. All very beautiful pieces. Let me know what you think of this look, guys. Is this something that you would like for yourself? I thought this was a brilliant use of color in a shiny palladium plated frame. I love the silver mirror, and I am feeling a little bit regretful that I didn't do it on my own Anna Karin Carlson LeChap frame. If you want to see a video about this specific frame that I made for myself, I'll link to it in the description box. Let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment. Do you like this look? Would you have done something different with the tint? What would you have done? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.